Our vision is to inspire students to create a better world. And our mission is to guide students to think critically, act responsibly, lead compassionately, and innovate wisely. EPS students prepare for challenges in the future because of how we engage them today. Eastside Prep's founders began envisioning the idea of EPS in the early 2000s, seeking to create a school that students would love. We continue to build upon our educational philosophy 20 years later, where students learn collaboratively in community with faculty, mentors, and peers. They experience support in their unique learning styles, integrating self-knowledge into all aspects of school life. They ask about process and purpose, along with other big questions in an environment where curiosity is the norm. They work effectively in diverse teams where individuality is celebrated, and they engage in hands-on exploration with integrated curriculum that allows students to apply knowledge between academic disciplines. The Eastside Prep campus features flexible learning spaces where students can figure out what works best for them. That dynamic continues online as each student has their own tablet PC, utilizing our learning management system, Canvas, for class information and assignments, and collaborating through Microsoft Teams and OneNote, helping our community to stay connected and informed.
Throughout my years at EPS, I've become more responsible, independent, and I've learned a lot of lessons that I can take into the rest of my life.
Each teacher helps us grow not only as students, but as people, and helps us become more responsible in each way.
I really felt cared for during remote school because my advisor, Mr. Bandel, would check in on me and see how I'm doing. Remote school was really tough for me because I'm a very social person and love to be around people, so it was great to feel cared for because he was checking in on me about my mental health, how I was doing without seeing people, and that was really great because I really felt supported.
I think the vision of EPS to inspire students to create a better world really comes through a lot of the hands-on learning that they get to do in the classroom.
There's also a lot of group work that you do, and I feel like that really helped me.
We talk about how to resolve conflict and how to name and process your feelings and all of those skills that are really essential to navigating an ever-changing world.
There are so many lessons that I took from here, one of which being, if you don't know something, that doesn't mean that you can't do it.
It not only brings out the best in the student, but helps the student grow in this community in harmony with the faculty, the staff, the students, and also enrich their community around them.
It's really about coming together and adapting to the world the way it is, and then learning how to shape ourselves into the best of us that we can be, and then changing the world for the better.
Each academic discipline at Eastside Prep provides a unique way of knowing more about our world, shaping insights into other disciplinary approaches as well. We encourage students to ask big questions in courses where inquiry is at the foundation of how the class is organized. Choice builds agency. When students experience options in their curriculum, from fine and performing arts electives to thematically paired English and social science courses, they experience higher levels of engagement and ownership in their learning. That's why the EPS curriculum features numerous options for both elective courses as well as those required for our college prep curriculum. Both elective and required courses provide on-ramps for students to consider areas they wish to explore in greater depth through advanced level coursework, further electives, seminars, or independent studies. Students have more of these options available to them as they progress within middle and upper school. Learner variability is a central concept in how EPS teachers engage with students. They understand that each student thrives with different learning approaches and that these needs may change over time. Our learning support team assists faculty with effective tools to meet each and every EPS student where they are, and learning support specialists offer direct support to some learners through our guided study hall program known as GSH. These GSH classes, which are intended to help students with their executive functioning skills and academic confidence, take place within a student's class schedule in lieu of an 18-student study hall or a free period, and have 4 students or fewer per session.
we're constantly updating our curriculum to make sure that it feels modern and it feels relevant and it engages the students where they are right now at this time and place in the world.
Each teacher is coming up with a classroom where it is safe, inclusive, and really truly a space where a student can be themselves.
Every single one of the teachers has been equally doing their best to help every single one of the students grow.
I took a violin class and I really liked it, partly because of Dr. Castro, who is the awesome teacher.
My math teacher, Mr. Facino, was really great. He explained everything to me to make sure that I understood the content and to everybody else. Without him, it probably would have been a lot harder.
I think my favorite academic experience so far has been the advanced science classes. Last year, I took advanced biology, and it was such a blast of a class. You know, my teacher, Mr. Walter, amazing teacher. All the students in that class were so willing to put themselves in a really difficult position because that class was very hard, if I'm gonna be honest. But it was such a blast because, you know, everyone who was there wanted to be there. And I think that that was so exciting.
The courses really develop and change with each new class, and a bunch of that comes with student feedback. At the end of each trimester, we do a feedback form that will be taken into consideration for years to come.
I feel like EPS has definitely made a large impact on my motivation because when you're surrounded by such diligent people and helpful resources, you can't help but work harder, you know?
We prioritize the student experience first and foremost at Eastside Prep. Our faculty members come from diverse backgrounds of inquiry and industry, sharing a lifelong love of learning as well as a commitment to support students in their individual development.
The teachers at EPS are some of the most empathetic and hilarious people that I have ever met. They are just amazing to have a connection with.
Student-teacher relationship. It's more like a mentorship or even a friendship in some ways rather than like a distributor of information and just a student.
I feel like the teachers acknowledge me and know and remember the other interactions we've had.
The teachers are open to suggestions and questions, and I could ask like a bazillion questions in one day and they won't get like mad at me about it like I would.
You can just like shoot them an email or message them after class or come talk to them in person, and they're always happy to help you.
We're teaching people, not just kids. They're growing people. So that's a big part of the way we approach the work we do within the school.
Eastside Prep is always a place that is willing to take risks on their students and on their faculty, and that's one of the things I absolutely love about this school.
Overall, there's just a lot of passion here, including in the faculty and your teachers. They also really care about the subjects that they're teaching and also know a lot about it.
I feel like I'm constantly learning from my students. They're bringing in things to the class that I might not have engaged with before. So I really think it's that unique body of students that makes EPS such a special place.
My relationship with my teachers is really just like a family. It's like a real positive community here.
Here at EPS, you can talk to your teachers, you can sit with them at lunch and talk to them. You know, it's such a friendly community, and I'm so glad that it is that way because it makes learning more fun.
Students don't care how much we know until they know that we care. That's why relationship is at the center of everything that we do. Our faculty and staff travel from all around the Puget Sound region because of the connections they have to our students and our purpose. And that dedication can be felt throughout the campus. EPS is a high-trust environment where community is shaped both in and outside of the classroom. This happens through a combination of classroom-based interactions, co-curricular activities like advisory and clubs that happen during the school day, as well as extracurricular activities like academic teams, sports, and performing arts. Through this multi-layered approach to community building, each student has opportunities to experience a sense of belonging through their multiple identities and interests. As an equitable and inclusive community, we want students to have both windows into the diverse experiences of others, as well as mirrors for their own experiences.
The community is like all about embracing everyone's unique individual selves while bringing everyone together.
anyone can make a home here, and anyone can find those connections that they're looking for.
Oftentimes people that are older help out the kids that are younger with classes they've taken in the past. If they have any questions, they can totally feel free to ask anybody.
I think my teachers are friendly mentors, and they give advice and they guide us, but they're also really friendly, and I feel supported.
The activities that EPS offers, the clubs and the activities, I think it does stretch the child's imagination.
I'm in EPS's math club, and I think it's great because you get to work with not only just your grade, but all of the other grades in middle school or high school, whichever one you're in.
I think the sports definitely helped me build a sense of community because I get to play with kids I don't have classes with, and on the field or on the court as your teammates, they really become like your brothers or like really close to you. And so I feel like this is really good because it kind of helps build the community.
It's really fun going to Ultimate Frisbee because on the bus rides there and back we do karaoke, and it's just fun on the field with everybody.
Everybody who wants to play Ultimate Frisbee or soccer or basketball can play Ultimate Frisbee, soccer, or basketball here. The goals for our sport is inclusion. Everybody gets to play, everybody gets better individually, and everybody grows as a member of a team.
I feel very empowered to just try my best because it is just such a comfortable zone for me, and I can feel like I can really put myself out there without having to face any consequences, and I can just try my best.
Those are 3. 1, 2, 3, Eagles!
Partnership between home and school creates a foundation for student success. EPS parents and guardians come from many different backgrounds, yet they share 2 things in common. They enjoy a forward-thinking school that tries new things, and they place a high degree of trust in the school and in one another. The most important way that an EPS parent is involved is through ongoing open communication with students' teachers and advisors. Every parent and guardian is a member of the EPS Parent Association. There is no minimum volunteer commitment, though there are lots of ways to get involved, from parent association leadership to grade level and sports team representation to helping with faculty and staff appreciation events.
I think as teachers, we want to partner with families at home to make sure that your EPS student is having the best experience possible at school. Sometimes something might happen at home or something might happen at school, and being in communication with families is really important to make sure that we can support these teenagers as they're navigating the ins and outs of adolescence.
If a student is doing well, I started doing this last year because I think it's a lot more important to focus on what a student is doing well rather than what they're not doing well, is sending off a quick little email. Hey, loved the work that so-and-so sent in this class, got a chance to read it, here it is, it's amazing. And then that parent is so empowered and proud of their student.
We really enjoyed like the social events in the school, right? So that was a way for the parents to get to know each other, to discuss, to meet like the teachers as well in the sort of a social environment and so forth.
We get to see each other outside of just a formal academic conference. So we really get to see parents and families and folks at home, and they get to see us in different contexts as well.
As a physician, I have done Women in Medicine panel, and it was a fun experience to be there in front of students of all grades there and share my experience and interact with them.
When your daughter says, hey, I feel at home at school, that's, kudos to EPS for creating such a welcoming environment at the school where students feel very, very comfortable.
Eastside Prep is a college preparatory school, and we focus on a holistic approach to students' development, and we empower students to see the impact that they can make on others and in the world. EPS students have a strong sense of their identity and their presence, whether they are walking onto a college campus or entering the workforce. To support them in their college search, each Eastside Prep student is assigned a process coach and a writing coach, while having leadership of the head of college counseling as a resource.
My hope for a student before, during, and after one of my drama classes is to gain confidence. If that student is confident with who they are, they're more likely to go off and do wonderful things. They've found their authentic self. They can go off and maybe they're gonna shoot for the moon and apply to that college.
Teachers tell me to really look over something that I've done and ask me to ask myself if there's any way that I can make it better and really put my best foot forward when I submit. I think relooking over my own work is something that's really going to help me later, and it's definitely something that not a lot of people have told me to do before. It's really just been, here, let me take it and review it for you, rather than why don't you review it yourself and be truthful and say, is there a way that I can make this better?
With EPS being super focused on college prep and all the resources that the college team gives you, I feel wonderfully prepared for college and whatever comes after that. The timeline is very clear. They make sure to give you super exact instructions without making it feel like someone else is driving for you. You're behind the wheel the whole time.
My hope is that students take the curiosity that they come into the classroom with and their love of learning that they bring to EPS, and they hold on to that and take it out into the world and use it to make it a better place.